excited for this opportunity. One, to go overseas and to still bond as a team. We have a lot of new players, so guys get familiar with each other. Great to get our chemistry together and see a beautiful city. A great opportunity for our guys. Most of them have not been overseas before. So go see another culture, play in another country. I think it'd be a wonderful experience.
Could you take us through what kind of teams you're playing, what kind of experiences they're going to have over there?
We're playing Euro teams, so all the teams will be older, more experienced. They'll be men, and they'll be teams that play a great style of basketball, something that our players over here probably aren't accustomed to, and so that's going to help us build the team that we want to build.
Why Italy? Why was that the one chosen?
One, I look at culturally, I think there's so much history over there for our guys to see. I think it's a great experience. I've been before, so I think it was a trip that I've enjoyed going on with the team, a few years ago, and I think this team will enjoy the experience as well, both culturally as well as the experience of playing some good teams.
Your team went to Spain in 2019, if I remember correctly. What did that team get out of that trip, and what are you hoping this team gets out of this trip?
Well, the thing we hope to get out of this trip will be just a team bonding. The chance to spend a lot of time together over there. You won't spend as much time on your phone as much time you'll spend with each other. And how often do you get to do that in this day and age? Nothing wrong with it, but how often do you get a chance to spend quality time with your teammates, your coaches? I think it's great, just talking 24 hours, just being together. And I think every team I've taken over there, I think has had a wonderful experience. They've gotten better from the trip.
How many extra practices do you get as a part of this trip?
You get 10 practices as part of the trip. And so we have a few more practices to go before we leave. And all that's good for us as well, because it gives us a chance to get familiar with each other. As I mentioned before, with so many new players, everyone's learning each other. How does your game fit with my game? How does your offense fit with my defense? And so as we start to put this together, I think it all come together well for us because of this opportunity to have these practices as well as the trip.
In terms of food, what are you looking forward to the most in Italy?
You know what? I've been over there before, as I mentioned, and I love all the food over there. They do a great job of hosting us. Unbelievable people. It's so friendly, and like I said, the culture is great, and the food is excellent. And so there's not one meal I like more than another. They all were great to me.
With so many new transfers and new faces, what has stood out to you in these early practices, these summer workouts, about some of the guys that you added, Shamari Allen and a couple others?
Well, they're still getting comfortable. As you can imagine, this is coming fast for these guys. The 10 practices will be good for us. I'm learning a lot more about who they are, how they will fit in our system. And they're learning a lot about us, as how we coach, our expectations of them. So all these things are coming together now, and as we move forward, I think we just continue getting better.
With the changes you've had, how important is it to have guys like Darius and CJ back, veteran presence with this team?
Very important to have, veterans back, because for us, what that does is they understand our standards. They know our culture. They know exactly what I expect. And so what they're doing a good job of, they're doing a good job of coaching the new guys. They're coaching those guys, teaching them from a player's perspective of what we want. And we have to have that. We need culture keepers, guys that are in this new generation of guys transferring and people playing all over the place. You need to maintain or retain some of your players because they know your culture. If not, you're starting over from scratch. Fortunately, we have those guys returning.
It feels like with the transfer portal nowadays, it's musical chairs almost. Jaycon Walton was supposed to transfer here. He showed up at Memphis one day. What happened with that situation?
Well, that's the nature of our sport now. Guys are making decisions. Guys have the ability to transfer, especially when you're a graduate transfer. Up until, school start, you have an opportunity to make decisions and go wherever you want to go. You can change your mind again if you would like and go somewhere else. They just have the flexibility to be able to do that as grad students. So, it's one of those things that happen. We have to continue to recruit, find, players that fit, our system and what we want to do, and that's what we'll continue to go out and search for.
You've had some high-profile recruits make other decisions. Has that been frustrating for you as you try to build a roster to see those guys that are highly touted decide to go elsewhere?
Well, it's part of the game. We've had highly touted players that have, made other decisions, and we've received highly touted players that are coming into our system. So it works both ways. The good thing about college sports, there's no shortage in talent, no shortage in good players. There's shortage maybe in great players, but there's no shortage in good players in college basketball. And we'll find the guys that fit our profile that can help us be successful.
You recently made an appeal for more Kingdom NIL funding and donations. Have you seen any of that pay off yet?
Yeah, I think it's been very, very helpful that guys have understood the importance of this new landscape that we're in. And fortunately, we have good people that are in our organization. We have good people that are former alumni here, and they're going to do the things they think are necessary to continue to help grow, what we want to do, on the basketball court, but also not just basketball, but for all of our sports. I think the collectives and things of that nature are going to continue to help, us build, successful programs and compete for championships.
The Big 12 recently released the home and away matchups. What are your thoughts on who you're traveling to, who you're hosting, just the Big 12 schedule eventually coming out fully?
Well, for us, I'm just excited to be, having this opportunity to compete in the Big 12, and all the teams are going to be talented. All the teams are going to be well coached. There's no one I'm looking forward to probably any more than another, other than just having a chance to compete against some really quality teams. And I'm sure that's the way the rest of the Big 12 teams, feel as well. It's an amazing conference. And I say it, we want to put our best foot forward when we start off, conference play, and we're going to work towards that.
You stay in state for your non-conference schedule. What was the rationale behind building it the way you did?
Well, I think we've always played amazing schedules, and we have another very good schedule this year. We have some really good teams we're going to play. We have Ole Miss coming here, very good team with Coach Beard. They're their new coach, and they'll be a very formidable team. Of course, we go to play Miami at Miami, so that's going to be an amazing road game for us. And then we have a number of games that we think are going to be very competitive because college basketball's changed. I think we all know from the NCAA tournament, there's a lot of parity in college. There's nobody you're going to go up against that you're going to be head and shoulders better than. Everybody can compete. Everybody has good players. And so you have to be ready to play every night. And so we've got a schedule, I think, that reflects that. I think it'll prepare us for the Big 12.
When you look at the turnover that you were talking about in the college basketball landscape, and then you look at the challenge ahead of you going into the Big 12, what do you want to see sort of in this summer leading up to the season that you see as the keys to be able to sustain a winning culture?
Well, we have to get better every day. For us leading into conference play, leading into preseason, to be quite frank, we have to get better every day. We can get better every day. I think when we get to conference play, we get to preseason, I think we'll be well prepared. But if we come in and just get by and come in and don't do the things we have to do to improve, then of course it becomes more difficult. But I love our group. They're working really hard. If we keep working the way we're working right now, I think we have a chance to be very successful this upcoming season.
You spend a lot of time with the team, of course, in practice, but when you're traveling with them, you go on a plane with them, you're with them day in and day out, what do you learn about these guys?
Everything. We have great young men, as I said, great student athletes. And I'm excited to spend time with them and work with them. What we do is not just coach, during games. Our thing is mentoring, helping develop young men. And we take that very serious. I think sometimes that gets lost in the wins and losses and everything that goes along with that. But we're very competitive. But the main thing we want to do is make sure these young people have an amazing life well beyond basketball. And I think we're doing a good job, myself and my staff, preparing them for that challenge, not just the challenge of playing in the game.
An experience of a lifetime for anyone, but certainly for a college student.
You know what it really is. For a college student, it's an amazing experience. And for our guys using a trip to go overseas, like these young men don't have a chance typically to go on a foreign tour. Like if you're a regular student, you have a chance to go over and study abroad. You have a chance to do these things. So once every 4 years for us to have a chance to take a team overseas, to have that type of experience, I think it's very, very important for these young people. And they've always enjoyed it, and they've always got a lot out of it.